Before my meeting with Pastor Toby at the end of the week, I'm keen to dig deeper into SPAC Nation's business dealings. So I've arranged to meet Christian faith blogger and one of the church's fiercest critics.
SPAC Nation has become a god. It's like my spirit was sucked from me. I ain't never going to get, and I'm never recommending them.
This is Kojo.
Thank you so much for meeting me. Essentially what they're saying is that they want to be a community organisation as well as a religious one. And they want to get kids off the streets and they want to be a positive force when it comes to knife crime, right? I'm really keen to find out what you guys think.
I've been watching the progress of SPAC for the last few years.
Yeah.
You can never be big without money. They need finances. How are they getting these people to give money? They're using religion to do it. These people would never ordinarily give. We would have had organisations bigger than them already. The truth of the matter is, I twist your arm by using religion to get money out of you. That is manipulation. God doesn't do manipulation. I've researched into some of their financial, we're talking about business, right? You say you've got these businesses, and yet you've dissolved about 10 or 11 of them within the first year. I also wonder why Pastor Toby's not on any of them. That sounds like somebody who's trying to make sure if this thing collapses, it can never be me. Because legally, he can't be tied to anything. He hasn't got his name on anything.
To play devil's advocate, if it's doing good in the community, is that not something we should be excited or happy about?
No, because eventually it will collapse on itself. That's my biggest fear.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming down and talking to me, all right? Take care. Thank you, guys. Whenever I've had conversations with the guys from SPAC about money, they've been very clear about the businesses that they have. They haven't really made much room for scrutiny or for me to dive any deeper than the surface level as to what their business is and how successful it's going. But in having the conversation I've had today, it is making me think about what the detail behind some of that business and money and finance might actually be.
SPAC Nation deny all of Kojo's allegations, but it does make me wonder what would happen if the money they use to support young people dried up.
Matthew. Hello, sir.
How you doing?
So I've come to meet former Deputy Mayor of London, Matthew Ryder. He spent 8 years tackling the capital's knife crime problem. So I've come to ask him about the impact of youth groups and churches like SPAC Nation.
I'm really struggling with the long-term ramifications of some of these religious organisations, in particular one where you've got young people who, in the moment and in the short term, have turned their lives around. But I have lots of worries as to what's going to happen to a lot of these young people should something go wrong.
Black majority churches are a fantastically important and valuable resource within the black community. They're enormously important. The problem is that with that power, that influence, there's a level of responsibility that those organisations have to make sure that they're not using that power and influence in a way to mislead or exploit young people who are so impressionable. If you're giving vulnerable young people a promise of some amazing things that can happen, it can be a bit like a sort of emotional or psychological Ponzi scheme. You know, you're saying to them, if you give us all your resources, all your time, sometimes a lot of your money, and give us everything of yourself now, at some magical day in the future, when we've grown this organisation even bigger, then all that you've put in is going to come back to you 100 times. You're going to be rich, successful, you're going to have an amazing life. And sometimes over-promising and misleading in that way can be very counterproductive, because if you've over-promised to people, then there's just this void, and they're left being vulnerable to whoever's going to present them with a solution to their life. I haven't got the rewards I was promised, so as a result, I might as well go back to negative behaviour. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Matthew.
All right.
Take care, man.
Take care, man.
Matthew actually has a good point. These are vulnerable kids. You know, if the church goes away, who is actually responsible for those kids? And it sounds awful to say, but are SPAC Nation making things worse?